Five guys enroll in a prestigious academy and immediately learn that school rules are more dangerous than final exams. This is an anime about questionable friendship, extreme discipline, and the lie we call freedom. So welcome to Hachimitsu Academy, a school so classy it looks like Hogwarts got a dress code and PTSD. This place used to be all girls, which was fine until some galaxy-brain chairman thought, you know what this estrogen-fueled paradise needs? 5 socially awkward beta males to ruin everything. We meet our heroes, if you can even call them that. Kiyoshi, the kind of guy who'd fumble a handshake with an NPC. Gakuto, an otaku who looks like he Googles how to talk to women every night. Shingo, a wannabe delinquent whose bad boy energy peaks at jaywalking. Andre, the human embodiment of a melted candle. And Joe, a socially allergic hermit who probably thinks sunlight is propaganda. Truly, a Mount Rushmore of mediocrity. Anyway, these 5 ugly bums are dropped into a school with a 200-to-1 girl-to-guy ratio, which sounds like heaven until you realize they've got less riz than a calculator. While Kiyoshi tries to talk to some girls in the cafeteria, the others chicken out so hard, KFC called to offer advice. He opens his mouth to speak, and promptly blue screens. The girls walk off, and he just stands there like a Wi-Fi router with no signal. Then a random older student drops the lore bomb. No girl can talk to guys because the underground student council said so. Basically, a secret society of hot, terrifying lunatics with daddy issues and booty. Next day, Kiyoshi ends up in a classroom full of girls, alone. Peak main character delusion moment. He drops his sumo wrestling rubber, because of course he collects those, and the cutest girl, Chiyo, finds it. This is the biggest W he's had in his entire life, and it barely qualifies as a tie game. Turns out, she's also into sumo, sparking the most painfully awkward romance since Microsoft Clippy tried to flirt. That evening, the bros discuss their next big achievement, spying on girls in the bath. Because naturally, when you're too dumb to pass math, you form a Scooby-Doo peeping squad. Kiyoshi hesitates, but once he sees Chiyo again, all morality evaporates faster than his self-respect. They decide to use his phone for the mission, because nothing screams trust like handing your iPhone to 4 walking L's. Predictably, Kiyoshi drops the rope, has to sneak into the bathroom, and somehow ends up being mistaken for a girl named Mayumi by Chiyo, who forgot her contacts. Bro's one lens away from a police report. While he's glitching out in there, the other boys get attacked by crows, like actual birds, because the underground student council decided to bring nature's hitmen. Then, out of nowhere, here comes the vice president, Mako. Imagine a gym goddess with anger issues and a push-up bra made of fear. The whole squad gets busted and paraded in front of the girls. Kiyoshi hides like a coward, only to be discovered later by Mari, the president. She's a walking power fantasy, with the emotional warmth of a tax audit. After talking to this woman, even Siri would develop trust issues. Next thing you know, the boys are locked in the school's literal prison, sentenced to 1 month of hard labor for being horny on Maine. Mako's in charge of punishment duty, dressed like she's cosplaying Mortal Kombat's HR department. Andre loves it, because of course he's into pain. Kiyoshi tries to defend him but realizes his homies are actually vibing with the beating, Stockholm Syndrome, but make it freaky. Mari notices they're enjoying their torture, so she calls in Hana, a cute-looking transfer student who turns out to be a feral yandere with a black belt in domestic assault. She has the boys picking clovers, then proceeds to beat them into fertilizer. Kiyoshi, meanwhile, tries to act useful by returning a baby crow to its nest. While doing that, he spots Chiyo in the window and lies smoother than ChatGPT writing fanfiction, promising he didn't peek. She buys it, he basks in delusion, and right when fate finally gives him a pixel of peace, Hana walks under his tree, to pee. My guy's hanging above her, sweating bullets, praying to every anime god. Then a crow dive bombs him and he falls, literal trash taking itself out. And that's how 5 betas started their sentence in horny hell, supervised by the scariest, sexiest prison guards anime ever invented. Kiyoshi, a walking L, accidentally faceplants into the world's worst situation, seeing Hana's ladyflower midstream like some degenerate side quest gone wrong. Hana, the school's resident psycho fairy, screeches like she just caught a Pokemon made of pure embarrassment. Before our beta protagonist can even process it, Mako bursts in, radiating Amazon Prime dominatrix energy. Hana cries, tells Kiyoshi to shut up about her golden moment, and Mako just ends the shift like she's Thanos, snapping them out of work duty. Kiyoshi's prison bros congratulate him like he just unlocked the saw a girl's coochie once achievement. Absolute down bad behavior. Meanwhile, Mari, the seductive Ice Queen CEO of Manhate, debates the school chairman about giving these crusty NPCs some weekend freedom. The man's laptop is literally vibrating from unholy content, but sure, he calls it education. Oh, and surprise, he's Mari's dad. The family trauma writes itself. Next day, Mako drags the boys into reclaiming wasteland for a garden, which is ironic since these dudes haven't cultivated a single brain cell. She denies them weekend leave until Mari shows up in slow motion like an anime villain DLC and promises 3 hours of freedom if they act right. The boys cheer like toddlers promised McNuggets. Hannah shows up with the USC's guidebook, while Joe commits ant genocide prevention duty, shoving Kiyoshi aside to protect his six-legged homies. Mari visits her dad's office, finds his research folder open, and suddenly decides all men deserve extra punishment. She storms back, cancels their free weekend, and Mako body slams Kiyoshi for existing. Bro got hit with a reality check.exe. Kiyoshi, lying on the ground like a broken Roomba, thinks about escaping just to simp his way to the sumo festival with Chiyo. 3 days later, he's tunneling out like an off-brand Shawshank inmate. Chiyo passes him a secret note, confirming she's still into him, for some reason science can't explain. But Gakuto, the historical otaku gremlin, takes the blame for Kiyoshi's mess and gets punished. The man's loyalty stats are too high for his IQ. At dinner, Gakuto acts mysterious. Later, Gakuto shows up in the shower like a glitchy NPC, spouting sumo jargon and offering to wash Kiyoshi's back. "Sir, this isn't a cologne ad. Stop trying to seduce your cellmate." Next morning, Kiyoshi hides his tunnel with a plank, only for Hana to confront him about the pee incident again. She wants him to return the favor, like, immediately. This girl needs therapy, not revenge kinks. As he's about to whip out his cowardice, Gakuto barges in, saving him from hydration humiliation. Kiyoshi almost shivs Gakuto for being weird, until Gakuto explains he's actually trying to help him escape because he wants a limited edition anime figurine. 2 losers, 1 brain cell, 1 dream. Meanwhile, Mari and Mako share a shower scene where Mako offers to wash her back, not as fan service but as a display of pure chaos. Mari misreads it as a fat joke, probably because she's too busy plotting gender warfare. The chairman drops his South American ass pics in front of Mari. Peak father-daughter bonding moment. She steps on them like a goddess-crushing male hope and vows to destroy the boys even harder. Back in prison, Kiyoshi and Gakuto fake a fight. Hana interrupts with a WWE move, the cabin collapses, and Mako punishes them with horsewhip roulette. The boys are thrilled because it means tool access for their great escape. Finally, strategy. But Hana babysits Kiyoshi, forces him to chug tea, and traps him in the toilet. She leaps over the stall like an Olympic yandere. They stumble, and Kiyoshi ends up relieving himself. On her, Hana screams like she's auditioning for a demonic opera. Mako rushes in, and Kiyoshi flees like a guilty balloon. Hana's left covered in shame and fluids. Gakuto laughs once, and Mako beats him into the next season. Just another day at the world's most cursed school for betas and beauties. Lunchtime hits, and the beta brigade finally grows a spine. Gakuto, the dorky otaku NPC, and Kiyoshi, the certified idiot, decide to test their escape hole like it's a cracked Minecraft server. Gakuto's galaxy brain plan is simple. Kiyoshi crawls out, chills for an hour, then comes back like nothing happened. Easy peasy, no brain cells required. However, the universe immediately claps back. The chairman, a supposed father figure but spiritually a Reddit mod, decides to bury his forbidden folder of South American ass pics right where Kiyoshi pops out, because destiny hates ugly bums. Before Kiyoshi can say, "I'm down bad," his escape route gets blocked like a paywalled DLC. Meanwhile, Mako, the big-boobed dominatrix, notices Kiyoshi missing and starts asking questions in that scary Sigma energy tone. Gakuto panics, lies badly, then gets ordered to bring Kiyoshi in. Before Mako can arrive and delete his existence, Kiyoshi sprints back, barely makes it to the hole, and gets stuck because of course he does, built like a low-budget turkey. Just when it's over, Gakuto pulls his emergency brain rot card and collapses trash under Mako, sending her down like a lagging NPC. Kiyoshi helps her up like a simp with zero riz. Mako smacks Gakuto for existing and leaves without noticing the hole. Gakuto immediately loses it, saying he used his final boss move early, while Shingo, the wannabe delinquent, watches them like a suspicious Discord mod. Back in the prison block, Shingo interrupts Kiyoshi and Gakuto's whisper talk and assumes they're suddenly closer, emotionally and spiritually, which is hilarious because they're both still ugly losers. Mako shows up in her night uniform, aka pajamas that instantly fry Gakuto's brain like a corrupted hard drive. He gets excited, gets hit, and somehow still asks for a pocket audio player, claiming it's for English lessons. Mako accepts because she's terrifying but fair. She posts next month's schedule. The boys celebrate like it's Christmas, then realize the track club meet overlaps their escape. Luggage duty goes to Kiyoshi, Gakuto, and Shingo, while Joe, the antisocial ghost, and Andre, the overweight disaster, get trivia duty. At the waste disposal area, Gakuto and Kiyoshi stress about Shingo being a liability. Shingo, eavesdropping like a paranoid beta, hears half the convo and assumes they're gay. In the shower room, his brain fully rots as he witnesses a series of normal accidents that look like a very low-budget BL anime. Soap drops, kneeling happens, hips are grabbed for balance, and Shingo's mind downloads the worst possible update. He screams, gets threatened, and runs off, traumatized. Next day, Shingo switches jobs. Gakuto hears Kiyoshi's voice echoing from a drainage channel like a haunted Siri, and Kiyoshi uses it to move around. While hiding, he overhears Shingo telling Andre and Joe about the physical relationship. Mako shows up, chases them away, and starts doing squats above Kiyoshi like it's leg day in hell. He stares way too long, then tries to leave, only to get stabbed in the butt by her heel, treated like a daily inconvenience. Later, Mako questions Kiyoshi's bathroom time. He lies about stomach issues, but Shingo blurts out hemorrhoids and exposes a bloodstain like a snitch with no survival instincts. Mako still delivers their requested items and announces IT class with girls tomorrow, which activates every simp neuron. During IT class, the boys realize the girls hate them. Andre somehow thriving like an accidental Chad. Gakuto needs audio recordings but can't find any online, so he decides to make his own. Because fate is cruel, he literally poops himself, ruining his life speedrun. He's humiliated, dressed in tracksuits, and roasted, while rumors spread it's part of his relationship with Kiyoshi. Meanwhile, the chairman seals his ass pics forever with cement, blocking the escape hole completely. That night, Gakuto snaps, blaming Kiyoshi, screaming about his ruined high school years and pants-pooping legacy. The others call it a lover's spat, and Kiyoshi can't deny it. Later, hearing Gakuto cry, Kiyoshi decides to escape alone by cross-dressing like a desperate stealth mission. The betas still think it's roleplay. Next day, Gakuto self-destructs, face-planting into Mako's chest and skirt repeatedly. Finally, he runs toward Mari, the beautiful, scary man-hater with a heart of stone, dodges Mako's strike like a cracked Dark Souls build, slides under Mari, and yanks her skirt down in front of everyone, ending the episode in pure, nuclear brain rot chaos. Gakuto, the human version of a broken printer, decides to go for broke and yank Mari's skirt like he's trying to speedrun a criminal record. Vice President Mako, booty built like two watermelons of destruction, loses her mind and curb stomps him so hard the crows pull up for the funeral buffet. Gakuto's lying on the floor looking like a half-loaded NPC, and Mari just walks off like, skill issue. Later, Gakuto confesses to Kiyoshi, the team's certified idiot, that he took the beating for their breakout plan. This man thinks pain is currency. Then, like a true simp scholar, he heads to Mako's office to apologize, which in prison school logic means getting his soul exorcised. Mako asks if he's sure about his decision, pulls something mysterious from a drawer, and next thing we know, man comes back looking like his barber used hedge clippers during an earthquake. He reveals his chopped-off hair in a bag, like it's a holy relic. His master plan is to use it as Kiyoshi's wig. Somehow, this is the big brain of the group. Next day, Kiyoshi tries stealing a girl's uniform from the laundry room, because clearly, felony cosplay is the move. Gakuto makes a distraction by roasting the school janitor, genius plan for a guy who still smells like despair and urine. Unfortunately, the cleaner already loaded the uniforms, so Kiyoshi sneaks into the van like a discount Metal Gear character. He almost ends up trapped for life, but escapes using a strategically placed laundry basket like it's a cheat code. When they reunite, they celebrate their W, even though Gakuto literally peed himself mid-operation, peak alpha energy. Meanwhile, Mari tells Mako she's been too soft on the boys. Soft apparently means she only broke half their bones last time. Mari threatens crow-based punishment if anything scandalous happens again, because she's basically the Disney villain of this show, hot, rich, and probably keeps skulls for decor. Cut to the dorm where Chiyo's talking about the big tournament, but Mayumi's ignoring her like every background character in a slice-of-life anime. Sports day arrives, and the boys immediately start ogling girl spectators like it's their first time seeing women rendered in HD. Mako, our busty dominatrix overlord, beats them like she's trying to speedrun a UFC match. Gakuto then passes Kiyoshi, the prison break gadgets, speakers hidden in his underwear, because subtlety is dead. Meanwhile, Mayumi teases Chiyo about her date with Kiyoshi, and Chiyo blushes like she just installed 10 gigabytes of brain rot. Finally, it's breakout time. Kiyoshi sneaks through the sewer like a ninja turtle in depression, disguises as a girl using Gakuto's tragic wig. Except a loose hair flies near Mako, like destiny saying, "You sure about that?" She rounds the corner, but Kiyoshi somehow hides the tear in his outfit with his bag, and Mako buys it. No riz, pure luck. Mari catches him next, grabs his bag, and almost exposes the hole, but her galaxy brain assumes he's just bad at dressing himself. She lets him go, though her suspicious aura could hack satellites. Back at school, Gakuto runs the Kiyoshi is in the restroom scam, gets pantsed and roasted by Mako for forgetting to zip up. Bro took an L so big it's now part of Japanese curriculum. Kiyoshi, meanwhile, reaches the festival and meets Chiyo. They eat, laugh, and she even made him lunch. For one shining moment, he wasn't a loser, until she spills water on his bag, sees her own uniform inside, and delivers the most polite breakup in anime history. "You disgust me." Man just lost his first date speedrun in under 2 minutes. Shingo, the wannabe delinquent with negative brain cells, decides to check on Kiyoshi, ruining the setup. Gakuto panics, while Mako, still built like a Marvel boss fight, kicks the toilet door in because the speaker battery died. Gakuto watches the impending doom unfold like a man who realizes he bet his entire life on a Bluetooth connection. So Mako, the human embodiment of a workout DVD, Kool-Aid Man's her way through a door like it owed her money. And there's Kiyoshi, our discount protagonist, ugly crying on the toilet like he just got ghosted by his OnlyFans crush. Everyone assumes this tragic toilet scene is about hemorrhoids or truancy, which honestly tracks for him. Mako and Shingo bail, but in waddles Gakuto, a man who looks like a malfunctioning Digimon, who's thrilled Kiyoshi made it back in time, probably because his fragile collector brain thinks friendship equals limited edition plastic waifus. Kiyoshi, still leaking tears like an overused water balloon, starts mumbling about failure, and Gakuto instantly assumes his dumb buddy forgot the figurine. Priorities. Not freedom, not dignity. Anime merch. But when Kiyoshi whips out that shiny figure, Gakuto gasps like he's discovering fire. The two losers hug it out in a puddle of their own beta energy. However, the dopamine rush dies instantly when the boss lady herself, Mari, swoops in like a gothic owl with bad intentions, flanked by Mako and Shingo. She sinisterly asks Kiyoshi if he enjoyed the sumo match. Translation: "I caught your dumb cheeks in 4K, buddy." Kiyoshi pretends he's lagging in real life, but Mari pulls out her phone like a prosecutor dropping evidence. Boom, photo of him and Chiyo. Oh, and plot twist. Chiyo's her sister. Mari then 1000 IQs the situation, exposing that Kiyoshi escaped by cross-dressing. Mako rummages through his bag like she's looting in Skyrim and finds Gakuto's stray hairballs plus Chiyo's uniform. Mari despawns in disgust. Mako casually warns his punishment will be hard, which for her probably means cardio and emotional trauma. Things explode when the other dumb inmates overhear. Shingo, the wannabe delinquent who thinks he's in Tokyo Revengers, punches Kiyoshi like he's farming EXP. Andre's giant blubbery body has to hold him back while Joe just stands there, collecting social anxiety. Gakuto tries defending Kiyoshi, but our toilet crybaby ends up in solitary confinement anyway, aka the Sigma timeout zone. Mari interrogates Kiyoshi, who tries lying like a man with 3 brain cells and no Wi-Fi. Meanwhile, Mari goes to talk to Chiyo, who pulls a full do not disturb and locks herself away. Next day, Mari announces her new decree. The whole crew gets an extra month of suffering, and Kiyoshi gets the boot. Gakuto, ever the loyal sidekick, tries defending his bro, but the others vote him off the friendship island. Shingo accuses him of helping, then rage quits the alliance. When Mako escorts Kiyoshi, Mari gives him an expulsion form, politely suggesting social death might build character. She even warns him he'll forever be labeled a perv, which, let's be real, is fair. Our man almost signs it, until Chiyo bursts in, pulling a classic anime heroine moment and declaring it's unfair. She even drops that if he gets expelled, she's dipping too. Mako tries to whip him, but Chiyo blocks it with her chest. Yes, literally plants his face in her boobs like it's CPR for losers. Mari admits defeat with elegant menace, and Kiyoshi suddenly decides life is worth living. Probably because he's now tasted Double D redemption. Back to the cell, where everyone treats him like Reddit treats new users. the gang ostracizes him, leaving our dumb simp alone with his tragic, sauceless determination. Mari, meanwhile, plots like a Bond villain, whispering to Mako that she'll expel all of them soon. At class, Shingo and Joe throw erasers at Kiyoshi like bored NPCs. Mako investigates their weaknesses, probably hoping one of them cries again. During prison labor, she groups them off, giving Kiyoshi toilet duty. Shingo ditches him immediately, proving teamwork is for people with friends. Meanwhile, Mari types Plan DTO into her computer, girl literally naming her schemes like a PowerPoint file on evil feminism. She corrects it later, smirking ominously because branding matters. Out of nowhere, Hana finally appears from the toilet like a horror movie jump scare, our psycho yandere queen ready for vengeance. She corners Kiyoshi, terrifies the soul out of this low-riz fool, then bounces after dropping threats like she's teasing Season 2 DLC. And with that, the Underground Student Council sips tea as Mari smiles like Satan in heels, while crows outside scream the national anthem of "You're all doomed." Mari and the United States of Crazy, the Underground Student Council, start this episode cooking up Operation DTO. That's Destroy the Outcasts, apparently, though Mari first calls it Operation, because even the Queen of Ice needs a firmware update for her vocabulary. Mako, the buff dominatrix with physics-defying lungs, and Hana, the psychotic gremlin powered by rage and monster energy, agree to use Shingo's beta brain to blow up their little prison bromance. So while the boys finish their prison chores like the broke NPCs they are, Mako decides to single out Shingo, the wannabe delinquent who looks like he got rejected from every biker gang ever. She offers him cake, which this man devours faster than his dignity, and then ropes him into some shady favor. Congratulations, Shingo. You've just signed up for the Simp Loyalty Program. Meanwhile, Kiyoshi, the main idiot himself, tells Gakuto, the historical cosplayer otaku, that he doesn't need his help. Gakuto's shame level is maxed out, so he rage quits the shower like a kid logging off after losing in Fortnite. The next day, everyone gets body slammed by Mako, except for Andre, the big buff blob, and Shingo, the traitor who's leveling up his snake skill tree. In the cafeteria, Joe, the antisocial goth who talks more to ants than people, loses it when Andre crushes his ant farm. Dude almost commits insect-themed homicide before Kiyoshi and Gakuto stop him. Later, at the guard office, Shingo gets manipulated again by Mako's thirst trap powers. He spills all the boys' drama for some gourmet food, proving once and for all, every man has his price, and Shingo's is a chicken cutlet. Mako then blackmails him harder than a Netflix algorithm, making him her undercover simp informant. Mari hears about Joe's obsession with ants and goes, "Perfect, let's emotionally destroy that bug-loving freak." And somehow, this becomes part of their 4D chess battle plan. Next day, the boys are out chilling in the yard. It's total NPC energy, apologies, reconciliation, and ignoring Kiyoshi, the group's walking L. He tries to nap off his sadness when he notices the USC power trio creeping around like evil Pokemon trainers. Meanwhile, Shingo, the undercover traitor, whispers to Mako under a tree like a man discussing Bitcoin secrets. Then chaos erupts. Joe sees crows attacking his ants. Man runs like the Flash, but Mako blocks him with grade A Amazonian menace. He pushes her, and boom, Hana dropkicks him like a Street Fighter combo. The crows basically commit genocide on Joe's ant family, while Mari struts in declaring Joe will be punished for daring to touch her team of psycho queens. Joe, wild with rage and zero brain activity, charges at Mari with a wooden knife like it's Excalibur. Kiyoshi, the idiot savior, launches himself in and lands butt first on the knife, making it a new whole DLC situation. Despite the blood puddle, he lies that it's just hemorrhoids. Peak Sigma coping. Joe gets tossed in solitary. Mari performs her villain monologue about anting, and Joe could not care less because dude's ancestors just got eaten alive. Cut to Kiyoshi in the nurse's office pantsless, cleaning his wound, when Hana walks in to fulfill her yandere revenge arc. She tries forcing him to pee in front of her like some twisted OnlyFans challenge. When that fails, she threatens to handle the situation herself. But plot twist, Chio walks in. Panic. They hide under the bed, resulting in accidental stiff energy underneath the sheets. Chio leaves, confused and possibly traumatized, while Hana short-circuits from secondhand embarrassment. At the chairman's office, Mari reports the incident to her pervy dad, who's suspiciously glued to his chair because he's hiding a mousepad that's shaped like Mako's assets. She catches him lacking, walks out in disgust, and decides to crank DTO to nightmare mode. Later, Shingo starts realizing maybe betraying his friends was a bad idea, but Mako quickly reminds him she owns his soul and snack privileges. Joe eventually gets released from solitary, defends Kiyoshi from Shingo's bullying, and the bros share a wholesome moment. Meanwhile, Hana's glitching between remembering and forgetting her golden shower near-death experience. The episode ends with Shingo being granted outside privileges by Mako, aka free roam DLC, for the simp who sold out his boys, and somehow, that's the best thing that's ever happened to him. Just a quick reminder to like and subscribe if you enjoy seeing content like this, or our editor will cry. Now back to the video. Shingo, the wannabe delinquent beta, with zero riz, somehow scores a hall pass from Mako, the busty dominatrix cosplayer who treats pain like cardio. He immediately sprints to the arcade, ready to speedrun his I Have a Life side quest. But plot twist, he gets noticed by Anzu, a cute girl who's actually good at video games. She calls out his prison school uniform, and this man fumbles harder than a Wi-Fi signal in the woods, mumbling some NPC excuse about running errands. When she flexes her gamer rank, Shingo realizes she's basically the Street Fighter equivalent of a final boss and retreats faster than a beta facing real female interaction. Back at Prison HQ, Shingo's geeking out over experiencing actual human conversation with a girl, which is tragic enough until Mako walks in like a doomslayer in stilettos. She forces him to grab her a root beer, and the bottle erupts in her face like a budget soda ad gone wrong. Shingo stands there like a malfunctioning toaster while Mako looks one sneeze away from murdering him. Then, while peeing out his trauma, Shingo finds a ridiculous toy sword in the toilet, because of course Gakuto's nerd nonsense somehow ended up in plumbing. Meanwhile, it's lunchtime, and the boys, our collection of low-IQ cavemen, try to act normal while Mako interrogates Shingo for info. The guy's empty brain does a 404 error until she starts cooking chicken nuggets with peanuts like Gordon Ramsay on steroids. To impress her, Shingo hands her the toilet sword like it's Excalibur. The second she hears toilet, she yeets it into the food. Cut to later, Mari, the beautiful but terrifying man-hater, who probably files emotions as war crimes, bites into her nugget and finds the blade. Mako panics, realizing she just fed her queen bathroom relics. Mari, though, casually pulls a CSI move, identifying it as a Chinese toy weapon, and begins her anime Sherlock moment. She Googles it, finds Gakuto's hidden figurine stash, and suddenly realizes her prisoners are running a jailbreak side hustle. Shingo, thinking he's leveled up in life, gets another permission slip out of Mako, who's now smiling like she just downloaded a new torture patch. But Gakuto, the otaku goblin himself, spirals into depression over his lost sword. Shingo returns to the arcade, where Anzu saves his loser streak from extinction, then buys him ice cream, because apparently she's into fixer-upper betas. She invites him to watch a movie called The Grapes of Wrath, and Shingo, in full clown mode, assumes it's a horror flick. His last brain cell barely survives the conversation. Back on the prison yard, Mako goes all Queen Elizabeth with chicken nuggets, handing everybody a peanut except Gakuto, to whom she gives the sword. With Mari watching like Thanos planning genocide, Mako drops the bomb. She knows about the figure, the sword, and Gakuto's involvement in Kiyoshi's great escape. Then she starts grinding, literally, riding the precious figurine like it owes her rent. Gakuto is mentally downloading despair.exe. He either confesses or watches his waifu get crushed. He leaps dramatically, smashes the figurine himself, and renounces his nerdom in a display that somehow makes self-respect look like a myth. When Kiyoshi comes crying about brotherhood, Gakuto tearfully declares their friendship worth more than any plastic queen. Mari and Mako's plan collapses. Then Shingo, returning late again, blows up the moment by pointing out the toy sword came from the toilet. Mari nearly faints like she got hit with a delete system 32 malware, and Mako begs for punishment like it's her OnlyFans content. Mari refuses, because psychological chaos is more fun. Mako spirals into existential dread while Hana, the psycho yandere with a punch fetish, struts in carrying new clothes from Mari. Meanwhile, Gakuto confesses his escape role, and Shingo, back to being the low-tier villain, calls him a traitor. But his dumb mouth slips about the toilet sword, outing himself as the real spy before panic-quitting mid-argument. The rest of the boys suspect him, but they're too useless to investigate properly. The next day, Mako supervises in battle armor so tight it could suffocate air. Andre, the enormous pervert blob, craves her punishments, like a dog begging for belly rubs, but Mako straight up ignores him. Deprived of pain, he starts writing, "Dear Diary, I miss mommy" entries. Mari reads it like it's a joke. Meanwhile, Mako nearly passes out from her outfit. Chio drags her to safety, and inside the USC, Mari declares phase final, Operation Expel the Losers. Chio overhears everything, proving that even the innocent ones in this story need therapy sessions sponsored by Crunchyroll. Andre has officially downloaded depression.exe. 1 week without punishment, and this man's living like a Discord mod who lost his last server. No shower, no sunlight, just wall staring and existential crust. The other 4 bums panic, realizing their mountain-shaped homie turned into Gollum with body odor. Meanwhile, Mako, aka Big Mommy Dom Energy, grants Shingo free time, which is code for, you get to touch grass, but only until 6:30. Gakudo and the boys watch from afar, while Kiyoshi, brain-rotted protagonist supreme, approaches Shingo like he's hacking side quests instead of escaping prison. He mumbles something about Mako's blackmail plots, proving once again he's running on 2 neurons and a dream. Mako pops up with her Amazonian aura and sends him packing like a substitute teacher who's done with everyone's nonsense. At the theater, Shingo's fake delinquent date with Anzu goes off the rails when they realize The Grapes of Wrath isn't a horror movie, it's a history lesson. These 2 goons are so bored they make NPCs look lively. Meanwhile, Mako's got the other 4 scrubbing the prison gates, while Chio and her friend sneakily play Go like it's a 4D chess operation, dropping Kiyoshi, a katakana message only a real beta could overlook. Cut to the shower block. Everyone's naked, everyone's awkward, and Andre's still ghosting. Kiyoshi squints at Chio's message like it's alien code. Over on the girls' side, Chio's worried her love note to a certified loser might not have made it. Spoiler, it didn't. Kiyoshi's out here trying to read Japanese like it's encrypted Wi-Fi. Thankfully, Gakudo the otaku magician deciphers it in 6 seconds flat. The message says, "Boys expelled today." Translation? The girls' union is plotting their doom faster than you can say ratio bozo. Andre, in full hallucination mode, hears Mako's voice and decides, yeah, time to die. He finds his diary rewritten, predicting his own spanking. Naturally, he walks straight into the trap because he's built like a glitchy Roomba. Mako appears, boobs booming, uniform straining, and he charges like a boss in Dark Souls with 0 stamina. He smashes through barbed wire, gets whipped like a piñata, and then Hana, the psychotic yandere gremlin, appears out of nowhere and punches him straight to the floor. Mari, the stone-hearted queen of misandry, watches from her evil throne like Thanos collecting infinity simps. Back in the park, Shingo tries to pull some riz after Anzu calls out his perv face. But just before he can make his beta move, some kiddie drama unfolds. It's basically a preschool version of his own betrayal arc, kids accusing a friend of being a simp for talking to girls. The irony hits harder than Mako's whip. Then, plot twist. Anzu confesses that Mari told her to distract Shingo till curfew, dangling a student council position like gamer loot. Shingo checks his watch. 35 minutes left. Anzu hits him with the ultimate backstab. Oops, I set your watch wrong. Man's got 5 minutes to live. At the prison courtyard, the girls are celebrating the boys' downfall. Mako's there, swinging her stopwatch with smug anime villain energy, while the remaining losers collectively LARP as a motivational TikTok video, screaming hopes into the void. But Shingo? He's sprinting through traffic, gets isekai'd by a truck, or so it seems. Turns out, he yeets himself out of the way and hitches a ride from the school cleaner, the same guy Gakudo previously disrespected. Karma speedruns the plot, and just when the USC thinks they've won, Shingo pulls up right on time. Except, he can't open the door. It's been changed. Bro ran a whole redemption arc just to take an L at the finish line. Later, in the mess hall, Shingo confesses. The boys forgive him, until he admits he saw Chio's cleavage, and the bromance ends in a group beatdown. Meanwhile, Mari tells her dad, the chairman, to expel the boys, while pretending innocence when Chio confronts her. Daddy Chairman delays judgment like a Windows update. That night, the USC hosts their We're Evil and Hot celebration, while Mako tries to flex with pull-ups and Hana's just simmering in psycho sauce. Anzu barges in, spills her guilt tea, and Mari's like, "It's fine, darling," before ordering silent surveillance like she's running North Korea. Down in prison, the ugly bum squad realizes they're doomed unless they pull off another dumb heist to expose DTO. And with Shingo's guilty face as inspiration, they commit to surviving because nobody destroys the beta squad but themselves. Mako starts this episode by losing a 1v1 against a door handle because her underwear snaps like a cheap parachute. She faceplants harder than a drunk NPC. Mari, our beautiful Ice Queen CEO of man-hating, casually helps her up like she's rebooting a broken robot. Hana, the psychotic secretary with I bite energy, offers Mako her leggings, but Mako refuses like a true masochist who insists on suffering. Meanwhile, in the prison block, our boy squad of certified basement dwellers are panicking again. Shingo, the wannabe delinquent with zero street cred, claims he saw DTO on the guard's computer, probably the first real clue his 3 brain cells ever noticed. The boys decide to recover this email evidence to dodge expulsion, but immediately give up after realizing it was deleted. Truly peak loser energy. Then, Gakudo, our resident bald otaku philosopher, starts flexing his "I built my own PC" logic and says he can recover the deleted data using a recovery program. The others doubt him since their main skill set is crying and being ugly. But Kiyoshi, the village idiot, rallies them with the thought of the upcoming wet t-shirt contest. Nothing motivates these simps like moist fabric. Next day, the dork convention continues. They realize Mako's surveillance is tighter than bank security, and they can't sneak into the office. When Daddy Faculty drops news that the boys' expulsion got unanimous approval, the squad falls apart faster than an early access Steam game. Gakudo suggests they steal Mako's key, using her own strength against her, by challenging her to an arm wrestling contest. Brilliant plan from the man who probably still believes RPG means romantic princess game. So, the crew sets the trap. In the corridor, they start bragging that Andre, the oversized marshmallow of pain, is the strongest in the school. Mako, offended that these bums compared her to a man, storms in ready to commit war crimes. Gakudo peels off his prison shirt to reveal his built like a credit card physique and volunteers first. Kiyoshi tries pickpocketing the key but fumbles harder than a beta main in Elden Ring. The match begins, and immediately ends when Mako snaps Gakudo's arm like she's uninstalling useless software. Kiyoshi steps in next, pretending he's got Riz, when really, he's running on fumes in desperation. He resists her power for about 0.2 seconds before getting distracted by the gravitational pull of her chest. The table collapses, probably out of pity. Shingo, still salty about his non-existent reputation, steps up and tries talking trash mid-match. Mako buries him instantly. Joe, the antisocial cryptid of the group, challenges her next and gets yeeted into the wall by one flick. The score is now 4-0 for Mako, and this looks more like a Dark Souls boss rush than a fair match. Finally, it's time for Andre, the human beanbag, to face her. But Mako gets distracted by a random hair growing on his nipple, a literal side quest no one asked for. When they begin, it's like watching 2 dump trucks collide. Sweat, shaking muscles, and psychological warfare. Mako's stronger, but Andre's chaos energy and his nipple hair of destiny keep her off rhythm. Somewhere in the chaos, his breath apparently gives him Riz buffs. While this circus unfolds, Gakudo sneaks into the office, slaps the recovery software into the PC, and watches it load slower than Windows Vista. He's sweating harder than his search history. Back in the mess hall, Mako's insults start turning Andre on, which somehow makes him weaker. The man's literally nerfing himself through thirst. Mako closes her eyes to focus, channeling her inner demon queen, and finally crushes Andre's arm like a soda can. Gakudo reappears to announce that he recovered the deleted data, but couldn't access the emails. Translation: he did nothing useful. The squad's faces scream, "Game over." That night, these 5 NPCs sit in their cell, reminiscing about their bromance and collective stupidity. Expelled, defeated, but still bonded by pain and simping, these ugly bums finally embrace that their true diploma was the brain rot we witnessed along the way. The boys failed to recover the DTO emails, which means expulsion is coming faster than Gakudo's hairline recession. Every one of these NPCs has officially gone brain dead, except Gakudo, who's not sane either, just running malware XP in his skull. Meanwhile, Mari and Mako relax in their villain base, sipping tea and plotting the fall of these 5 beta males like it's casual Friday at Evil Corp. Mako struts back to the boys' dungeon and announces that they've got 2 days left before they're kicked out. She even offers them a last meal, like she's the queen of death row. Gakudo, in full mental breakdown mode, asks for fried grasshoppers over rice, peak insanity cuisine. Andre, the big-boobed Buddha of pain, asks to be punished instead, proving hunger isn't his main craving. Mako rejects him because she's the only one allowed to dish out trauma here. Chio slides a secret message in the food, but Kiyoshi, our dumbest simp soldier, only manages to write a tragic goodbye in the leftovers like he's submitting his final diary entry on death row. Outside, Mako is out here catching real grasshoppers for Gakudo's request, proving even dominatrix queens can do manual labor for fun. When she brings the meal back, Gakudo takes one bite, tastes instant regret, and collapses like a brick phone on 2% battery. The dish was so foul, it literally rebooted his sanity. He jumps up, talking about plans again, but the squad reminds him they're getting expelled tomorrow. Gakudo's spirit deflates faster than Andre's waistband. Then comes Mako with the withdrawal forms, forcing the boys to sign out of life itself. They think she's sad to see them go, but she immediately goes full WWE on Gakudo after learning he threw away her bug sushi. Love is truly dead. After she leaves, Kiyoshi hatches his new Galaxy Brain plan, appeal to the chairman himself. They actually convince Mako to take the appeal, but she's still salty from Buggate and rips it to shreds like a gacha player deleting dupes. Expulsion day arrives, and shocker, no one shows up to save them. Mako escorts these broke losers out of prison when Gakudo notices scraps of paper on the ground, acting like it's the universe sending him pity confetti. Suddenly, cut to Hana in the kitchen, where a mushroom lands between her legs and triggers Vietnam flashbacks of her accident with Kiyoshi. Here comes the Yandere update patch. As the boys climb the stairs to the main building, Mari's watching like an evil CEO, live streaming her enemies fail. But out of nowhere, the chairman shows up with the authority of a side quest NPC offering one last dialogue option. Turns out Kiyoshi's backup plan worked. The real appeal was hidden in the withdrawal paper. The squad finally sees light at the end of the tunnel, but it's the chairman holding a flashlight shaped like disappointment. This man immediately starts grilling them on the great philosophical question, boobs or butts? Kiyoshi, recalling the man's cursed photo collection, picks buttocks, which instantly levels him up from simp to scholar. They celebrate like they've just solved world peace, until the chairman says he'll only help if they can explain why buttocks are better. Bro turned their expulsion into a TED Talk. Outside, Mako catches sight of Hana brandishing a dagger and thirst for vengeance. Yandere.exe has fully booted. Mako tries to restrain her, and in the sexiest WWE match ever filmed, chokes Hana out with a reverse leg lock. Meanwhile, Kiyoshi is in deep thought trying to solve the booty riddle while catching sight of Mako's mammoth physics-defying assets through the window. Inspiration strikes. Kiyoshi goes Professor Einstein mode and explains that before humans walked upright, buttocks were the OG attraction, and breasts were just bootleg versions that appeared after evolution switched the camera angle. The chairman's brain crashes from enlightenment, and he hugs Kiyoshi like a proud father of a degenerate philosopher. Expulsions postponed. Mako, eavesdropping, promptly falls from a window like a confused angel. But the boys only get one more day of freedom because the chairman insists a true man can do it in one day, whatever that means. Back in their cells, Kiyoshi thanks Mako for help. Mari smashes her teacup out of rage, and Hana volunteers to guard them next time. Translation: Psychotic Yandere DLC incoming. The boys just got a one-day extension on their expulsion, basically a 24-hour trial for failure, and immediately go back to formulating another idiotic plan. These ugly bums are the human equivalent of loading screens. In the USC room, Mako argues that Hana shouldn't guard them because she's clearly running on psychotic Yandere firmware. Mari, the stone-cold man-hater queen, just watches while Hana insists she's fine, flashing the aura of someone who definitely isn't fine. Mari and Hana doubt Mako's loyalty, but Mako reboots her brain with "I serve the sisterhood" energy. Back in the prison block, the pitiful delinquents are cooking up another clown plan, this time a butt wrestling contest. Yes, Gakudo actually thinks Mako's thickness could be weaponized against her. But plot twist, Hana, not Mako, brings their food. Everyone freezes like NPCs caught in stealth mode. They try to bait her into their degeneracy, but she roundhouse kicks Gakudo into the wall, deleting his remaining neurons. Then she turns to Kiyoshi, her least favorite idiot, and reminds him she remembers everything from the hospital incident. He's so terrified he could sweat out his soul. Meanwhile, Mako's in her dorm working out and crying like a guilty dominatrix, terrified that Mari thinks she's a traitor. Mari strolls in, wipes her sweat, and basically says, "Chill, queen, you're still my #1 henchwoman." Turns out Mari only made Hana guard duty because she's easier to manipulate. That's right, Hana's running on beta Yandere AI, and Mari's got admin access. In the prison block, the boy squad starts sneaking secret messages in their food to contact Chiyo for a meeting at the warden's back door. Gakudo volunteers to infiltrate again, but Kiyoshi takes over like the idiot he is. The others are terrified because that means facing Hana, the woman who probably daydreams about cutting his kidneys out. Meanwhile, Chiyo intercepts the food message but gets caught by Anzu, who immediately joins the simping resistance to save the boys. At that same moment, Mari and Mako are bathing in the main building. Mari orders Mako to patrol the grounds, unaware she's about to witness full chaos. Cue the next disaster. Kiyoshi fails to make Gakuto's head bleed with a fork. He's too weak to even fake an injury. Joe, the antisocial cryptid, finishes the job by stabbing him like a pro. Hana storms in to investigate the screams, but after seeing it's minor, she leaves with skill issue energy. Gakuto, pretending to rage, taunts her with stories about Kiyoshi's glorious past encounters. Hana, now pissed and glitching, drags both to the warden's office, but only lets Kiyoshi in. Classic bait and switch. Outside, Chiyo's sneaking through the shadows like a Metal Gear character, while Mako's patrolling with flashlight in hand, ready to spot any sinner dumb enough to move. Inside the warden office, Hana goes full psycho DLC, scissors in hand, declaring revenge for every humiliation. Kiyoshi panics as she points the blades, but she's just cutting a plastic bottle. Why? Because she's forcing him to pee in it. Man's dignity equals gone. Kiyoshi, realizing it's his moment, whips off his underwear, covers up with the bottle, and tries to approach her like some weird Sigma-Chad hybrid. Hana panics, slams herself to the door like Windows blocking a virus. She kicks him mid-riz attempt, causing him to fall, but he secretly unlocks the office door. Mission successful. Chiyo gets close to the prison wall, but Mako finds footprints and switches to search mode. Back inside, Kiyoshi loses composure after catching Hana's upskirt. Now he's so down bad he can't perform. He admits it, and Hana decides fine, she'll pee on him instead. Just as this train wreck's about to hit rock bottom, Mako's shout from outside interrupts them. She's caught Anzu, who sacrificed herself like a hero in a fanservice war. Hana locks the office door and collapses into a full breakdown, crying from emotional trauma overload while Kiyoshi apologizes like a weaker Disney prince. She demands he take punishment, then beats him so hard his ancestors feel it. Suddenly, she grabs him, kisses him, and claims it's punishment. Man just lost his first kiss to a violent goddess of chaos. She kisses him again, affirming that Kiyoshi's hopelessly pure and in love with Chiyo. Outside, Chiyo hides in the bushes, unaware her crush is living through the weirdest yandere rom-com of all time. Meanwhile, the rest of the losers sit silently, proving karma always finds the dumbest guys first. The boys realize the intruder isn't Chiyo, but Anzu, proving that for once their collective 2 brain cells actually did something useful. Gakuto, the dorky oracle of despair, correctly guesses that Anzu switched sides to help them, while Andre and Joe insist she's some kind of double agent, because their neurons still haven't downloaded the logic patch. Meanwhile, Mako catches Anzu on her home turf and immediately decides to interrogate her by sitting on her face like she's crushing dissent with plot armor. Anzu stays silent, enduring the full weight of dominatrix justice like she's training for god-tier simp ascension. Mako's built like a boss fight, and Anzu's just tanking it for redemption. Eventually, the interrogation fails, and Anzu passes out with 0 XP gained and all dignity lost. Cut back to the warden's office, where Hana is still on her psychotic arc, kissing Kiyoshi repeatedly like she's trying to delete his soul via lip contact. He pushes her away, but she just dives back in like a TikTok challenge nobody asked for. Kiyoshi, the idiot messiah, suddenly realizes she's innocent because there's no tongue. Then he decides to use his tongue to mentally impact her. The man essentially downloads a forbidden kissing technique straight from a hentai forum and deploys it. Outside, Gakuto's having flashbacks to some imaginary Sengoku war story he made up, while Shingo calls him an idiot, which, for once, is accurate. The squad senses Kiyoshi's in deep trouble, though honestly, mental trauma is his natural state. The plan works. Hana's brain just blue screens mid-makeout, and she collapses, fully defeated by one overconfident loser's riz. Kiyoshi unlocks the door, but then Chiyo, the innocent love interest, unknowingly tries to open it. He yells a warning, and she backs away, sparing everyone from a yandere death scene. Hana regains composure, escorts Kiyoshi back to the mess hall, and leaves, while the boys, seeing his wrecked face, assume a violent fight happened. They have no clue this man just got emotionally and physically demolished by kisses. Meanwhile, Mari finds Mako with the unconscious Anzu and decides to double down on their final inspection before sunrise. She and Mako, dragging Anzu like a side quest reward, patrol the grounds. Suddenly Mako screams, but it's not danger, it's just a wardrobe malfunction. Mari, calm as ever, checks on her like a CEO inspecting her soldiers' respawn animation. Discovering the boys asleep in their cells, Mari smugly believes the USC has secured victory once and for all. Next morning, the losers are dragged to the chairman's office for final judgment. Mari and the USC are ready to end their school careers permanently, but Kiyoshi stands up mid-defeat, claiming victory with full delusional confidence. Meiko grabs Gakuto, only to reveal it's actually Joe in disguise, while Joe unmasks as Chiyo. Plot twist level 9000. Chaos erupts as female students dogpile Gakuto, who bursts in half-naked like an anime Hercules. Gakuto then reveals his ultimate W. During the previous night, he escaped and recovered the deleted DTO emails, the Chad move no one saw coming, from the man who once cried over failing a game quest. He even hands the proof to the chairman from his underwear like it's the holy grail of simping. The chairman checks the files, confirming Mari and her council were manipulating everything like shadowy Discord mods. The boys explain the arm wrestling match was their master plan, turning humiliation into strategy. Hana, furious, dropkicks Kiyoshi for his emotional crimes, but Mari confesses all to protect her team. The chairman decides their punishments will wait and declares the boys officially free. Cut to the courtyard, our gaggle of losers finally back in uniform, basking in freedom. Kiyoshi gets spoon-fed by Chiyo, like a victorious toddler. Andre, once the prison perv, now has fangirls for days. Shingo's chilling with Anzu, probably convincing himself he's a Sigma. Gakuto's in the library reunited with his nerd crush Mitsuko, proving even dorks get reruns of love. But plot armor never rests. Kate from the above-ground council complains to the chairman that the USC got off too easy. The final scene drops the bomb. Mari, Meiko, and Hana are now the prisoners, locked in the same prison they ruled. Karma's DLC has officially been installed.
Them girls be crazy, them girls be wild. Lock me up, throw the key, I'll still be smiling in style. Them girls be crazy, them girls can't chill. Every time they look in my way, I'm losing all my will. Name's Kiyoshi, idiot loser, that's me in the flesh. Tryna ask Chiyo out, but these girls bringing me stress. Got Kuto in the corner, Dokyo Taku obsessed. Shingo talking tough, but he fails every test. Andre crying loud, big tears, whole mess. Joe in the shadows doing ghost impressions at best. But through all this chaos, there's one thing I see. My angel Chiyo girl, come save me. Them girls be crazy, them girls be wild. Lock me up, throw the key, I'll still be smiling in style. Them girls be crazy, them girls can't chill. Every time they look in my way, I'm losing all my will. My he beautiful, scary man, hater supreme, cold as ice, and she running this scheme. She said obey, and I said please step on me. Guess I'm hopeless when she playing queen of the scene. Make her walking in like a one-woman storm, whip cracking, body stacking curves in form. I said please sit on me, half joke, half plea. I need air, but I die happy, that's me. Hana in the shadows, grin sharp as steel. Please stay away from me, that's too real. She smiles, I run, that's the deal. Love should've come with backfield appeal. Girl, I'm just trying to date my angel, see? Not get caught in the council's decree. Every plan I got ends in misery, but Chiyo one looking, I'm finally free. Them girls be crazy, yeah. Them girls be wild. Prison love 101, and I'm serving my trial. Them girls be crazy, but my heart stay true. Angel, I'm falling for you, yeah, I'm falling for you. Them girls be